It is another edition of the OKPreps Verbal Commit. I'm your host, Michael Knight, and I'm sitting down with a future Kansas Jayhawk. He is Booker T. Washington linebacker Krishawn Brown. Krishawn, before we get into Kansas, your recruiting process, things like that, we got to go back to last year. The Booker T. Washington Hornets coming into 2018 as the defending champs, and a lot of talent coming back, ranked number one in all the preseason polls. Things don't end the way that you would like, but when I look back at 2018 with Booker T, the one thing that stands out to me is all the injuries that you guys had to go through. Talk a little bit about that and the adversity that you guys had to deal with on your way, to falling short of a championship appearance.
So basically, all the injuries, it was from game one, so that really hurt. And it was like a lot of key starters, so it really hurt too. And when we was going down, we really didn't have players to push in after the people got hurt. So that was another problem we faced, and we just had to put a monkey don't stop a show, so we had to keep putting other people out there.
How much, when you look at some of the guys that you've shared the defense with, whether it's, last year Dax, DJ. This year, some of the guys at Keywan, some of the seniors that you have, all the talented guys that you've played defense with. Do you ever sit back and think, man, this is a lot of great talent that I get to share the field with?
Yeah, I always enjoy playing with them. Obviously losing Dax and them that hurt, but I really love playing with them. They taught me a lot of stuff about how my game and helped me improve. And playing with Keywan and them is just another fun experience, because young guys who just obviously know how to play. It's just fun playing with them, and they are really good, and it's enjoyable playing with them.
I mean, look, every single year Booker T. Washington has guys, and this year's no different. And when it comes to the defensive side of the ball, it seems like there's more of those guys. You mentioned Dax, DJ. How have they helped you? Not only on the football field, but off the field as well, dealing with the recruiting process and things like that. Man, Dax, I can't even imagine having to go through what he went through as one of the top prospects in the country. How did they help you, not only on the field, but off the field, dealing with that?
So on the field, obviously they just said you just got to keep playing because I obviously I had the film and stuff. I was playing good, but off the field, this is where it really counted because at first I was kind of mad, not mad, but frustrated because I wasn't actually getting as many looks. And then they helped me out. They was it's gonna come. They was just telling me to be patient. And when I find a team I really love, I'll just go with them. They was helping me out with that.
How competitive, and look, I already know the answer because I've been to plenty of Booker T. Washington practices, but that's one of my favorite things to do is, covering games, they're awesome. Covering practices, sometimes they're boring. Not at Booker T. Washington. Talk us through the competitive nature that's in all of you guys.
We always like to go best on best and get a live look and a real game experience. So we just we just want to see how it's going to look in the game. We want the full game experience. So we like to go against we like to put our best offense guys out there who have to play both sides obviously, and our best defensive guys out there. And we like to go against each other to see so we can actually be focused while we playing the game. We want a live game experience throughout the week. So when we play on Friday nights, it's just simple.
You mentioned kind of being a little frustrated with the recruiting process, not getting looks, things like that. At what point did it turn around where you went from a guy that wasn't getting the attention to now the attention was being put on you? You were getting interest. You were talking with schools. When was that?
It was I can't remember the exact date, but it was when I went to that Rivals camp. It was in Texas. Mm-hmm. And I went there, and I felt like I did really good. And I guess the coaches, they obviously saw me, and they said I did good too. So it was just after that, it started clicking.
What was, because I love these stories. I love the first offer story because you're working for it, you're working towards it your entire life. You're wanting the opportunity to play college ball, and then you get that first college scholarship offer. Who was it, and when was it?
Actually, it was East Central University, D2.
Yeah.
And then my first D1 was Kansas.
Yeah.
And that's because after the camp, they saw me our spring ball camps, and then they really liked me and they offered me. It was during school, I believe. They offered me. Yeah, it was a good experience.
Now, Kansas starting to come down to Oklahoma, recruit Oklahoma even more. Look, they've been recruiting Oklahoma for a while. There's some Booker T blood up at Kansas right now with Kyle Mayberry on the defensive side of the ball, one of our personal favorites here at OKPreps. Talk about the relationship with the Kansas coaches, how it developed over the spring and summer, and then ultimately what led you to committing to the Jayhawks.
This all started with actually Coach Elliott. He came to Booker T to watch me practice, and then after that we just started building a real good relationship. And Coach Miles and his staff, they always, it's just comfortable up there. So I really liked them, and I feel like they really care. They text me, it was with me every day, make sure I was good. And after that, it just clicked, and I was like, yeah, this is the place I want to be.
Kansas, I mean, look, they'd probably say the same thing. They've been down. Mm-hmm. They've been down as a program for a while. Coach Miles coming into his first year, going to be interesting to see what he does on Saturdays with Kansas back in the Big 12 for the first time since he was coaching at OSU. Mm-hmm. How have they, changed them? Look, you're going to be new to this program. You're not even going to know about the losing ways if they turn this around immediately. How have you seen things, develop with the coaches that, are starting to put things into a positive direction for KU?
The coaches seem like they're animated, so they're helping the players. The players feel like it looks like to me that the players are actually they care and they with the coaches. The coaches are animated. They got a lot of they just changed the culture. It just looks they look more united up there.
Now I mentioned Kansas recruiting Oklahoma. Not only is Krishawn committed to KU, but also Union wide receiver Kyler Pearson. Another Mayberry headed up to Kansas with Deuce out of Owasso. He's committed to KU to join his brother up there in Lawrence. Have you talked with those guys? Are you starting to develop a little bit of relationship with the guys who are going to be your future teammates?
Yeah, I have. I actually went to school with Deuce my freshman year. He was at Booker T, but he left. And Pearson, I talked to him over the phone. We got connected. And he's a really good guy, so yeah.
Yeah, look, I mean, there was a time there where, Miles Slusher, Brennan Presley, Deuce Mayberry, all of them could have been wearing the orange and black at Booker T. Didn't end up that way. Y'all would have been unstoppable, but that's just my opinion. All right, let's talk about this season for you guys because last year you had to deal with the injuries and things like that, but one of the, kind of glass half full mentalities is when you have to deal with that, a lot of guys who wouldn't have gotten experience got experience, builds a deeper team for the following year. When you look at this team coming into this season, is it deeper than it was a season ago?
We have a way deeper cast this year. I feel like the DBs, I think that's our deepest unit right now. Then I would say it's the receivers, obviously, because we have a lot of receivers. But I feel like we got a all-around better team, even though we had better players last year. But I think we should be way better than last year.
Now, finally, for Booker T to get back to the championship game, obviously the road goes through Bixby. Mm-hmm. You also have to deal with some teams from the west side as well. What has to happen for you? I mean, other than staying healthy, because I think last year would have been a different story if the Hornets were healthy. But what has to be different than last year for you guys to make it back to the title game and win it?
We had to play as a team. We had to play as one unit. Last year we had a problem with that. We had more people trying to do their own thing. This year we got to play together, stay together all year long, and we got to make sure that we don't get too in our heads. We just got to stay focused.
Krishawn, thanks for sitting down with me. Congratulations on committing to KU. Looking forward to seeing that Booker T pipeline continue up to Lawrence. Good luck up there. But first, good luck to you and the Hornets this fall, all right?
Thank you.
He's Krishawn Brown. I'm Michael Knight, and this has been another edition of the OKPreps Verbal Commit.